Bet the Juice Podcast, Cody Mitchell here. Saturday, March 7th, college basketball picks. Thank you for everybody that checked out all of the conference tournaments previews so far. We are almost halfway done, and the conference tournament games they've lived up to everything. Between the Winthrop and Charleston Southern game, where Winthrop scores about 10 points in the last 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes. They scored like 10 points in the last 30 seconds to come back and win. And actually, if you got the 4.5 with Winthrop, you actually covered there. Ripped to the plus 4.5 Charleston Southern bettors. The Radford game last night, Radford Presbyterian, I had stuff going on, so I ended up turning the game off. They're up 6 with 17 seconds. Go to check my account while I was watching the Miami, Ohio, and versus Ohio game, and I didn't pay out. I was kind of curious what happened, so I checked up, and they were in overtime. So that's why you don't hire a book nerd to be your head coach at Radford. That was a terrible hire to begin with, and it's still a terrible hire, and that was, it's supposed to be an analytics guy. Yeah, how about you foul up 3, you dipshit? So that fucked me, but besides, we've been up money, just kind of keeping our head above water here because some of these upsets have been fucking wild. But for the normal show here, we're just going to do the Power 5 games here for the weekend. I made these slides yesterday, so some of these lines may have changed. That's why I haven't pulled up here yet. Speaking of this first game here, it's already changed. It's the last today. Well, tomorrow technically. It's the last Saturday of regular season basketball, and then we go straight to the postseason. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to do the fucking tournament previews for the P5. The SWAC one I got ready to go. The MEAC is ready to go. The MAC conference tournament should be crazy because I'm a little sneak peek here. I don't think Miami, Ohio is one of that. I think there's another team that's the best team in the MAC. I don't think it's too off the cuff. I bet if you go to, let's just check what does KenPom have? After I literally just trashed at school for basically hiring a KenPom guy. Yeah. I mean, Akron's still 30 points higher on KenPom than Miami, Ohio, and I do think they're the best team. They played one time. It was the beginning of the year in MAC play, and it was at Miami, Ohio. So I don't really think it was fair. So, no, weight loss 67. I do not have Florida plus 2,500, 25 to 1, whatever you want to call it. I think I got a 20 to 1. So I'll take 20 to 1. I think they might be the best team in the sport right now. But we'll get to them later. Start the first game here. Miami, Ohio, still in the mind. Virginia Tech is at Virginia. This line is now 11.5. Really, I don't know if either team is really. I mean, Virginia Tech, you do win this. If you find a way to win this game, I mean, right there at the very end on the bubble. But the problem is you're going into Virginia in a rivalry game. I just don't really know. And it looks like Virginia. So if Miami beats Louisville and Virginia beats, I might actually share this just for the podcast. If you don't know what B-Ball Not Nothing is, I would suggest check his website out. He does all the tiebreakers for not just college basketball, but for college football too. It's actually really cool. And you just you can pick the games here, whatever you think, and it'll actually spit out the scenario for you. So let's see, Miami beats Louisville today, and Virginia beats Virginia Tech. Virginia still holds that 2 seed. So it really does not matter. But I will say, that's still a lot of points. That's a good amount of points for a team playing for their season here. So I'm going to take the Hokies here, but no bet here. Next up, we got Notre Dame, Boston College, game of the weekend. Some are calling it. So we're calling it game of the weekend. Notre Dame's laying 1.5 against Boston College. You know how bad I want to bet BC. As bad as Boston College is, and I should check this too, because if you don't know, you're living under a rock here, the ACC is still a communist conference. They do not let all 18 teams in. That is why they're a bunch of commies. So Notre Dame and Pitt are actually tied. Boston College, okay. Let's pull up. We got to pull it back up. Not that one. Let's pull back up the scenarios. It's a reset here. It's back to the ACC. So Pitt's playing Syracuse today on the road. Syracuse is going to beat Pitt because Pitt sucks. And we all know that Pitt sucks because he chipped Pitt. If Notre Dame beats Boston College, they're into the dance. Now, if Boston College beats Notre Dame, Boston College is in. This is essentially a play-in game for the ACC tournament. Wow. And you thought the OVC title game today was going to be big. This is the real big one. God, both teams are terrible. I'm going to take Boston College because they are at home. Give me the plus 1.5, but I can't get there with the lock. There's just no way. There is just no way I can get there with the lock. Georgia Tech is at Clemson. Clemson is getting 17.5. Or Georgia Tech's getting 17.5 on the road. That's just, no, too many. I'm going to lock in Georgia Tech here. Plus 17.5. Season's over, man. They're disqualified from the ACC tournament. Not disqualified, they're out. Have won enough games. So, playing fierce. Last game of the year, they get up for Sotomayor. Might be his last game as the head coach. I think Georgia Tech and the Yellow Jackets cover that big number there. All right, fire game here. Louisville, is this still the right number? Louisville is laying 1.5 on the road at Miami. It's flipped. It's flipped overnight. Miami is now pulled minus 1.5. Can you get a pick 'em anywhere? You can get a plus 2 for Louisville if that is what you're dealing with. Yeah, I mean, you can get a minus 125 money line on Caesars. It's probably the best one you're getting. And we're going to do it. I think Jai Lucas, he might not win it, but he should. He's been the best coach in the ACC all season long, turning that program around. So, I like the Hurricanes to get this one done. Next up, we have SMU is this one still accurate? SMU is at Florida State. Florida State, I cannot find the game here. Where is this game? Because I know there's probably not the right number. There we go. This is actually say the same here. Florida State is still laying 1.5. And again, if you've been listening to the show, I think I was on this Florida State train probably before everybody else. Don't want to toot my own horn there, but I feel like I was. When is it here? Let's pull this up. Because Luke Locks, as much as he's 100% not winning Coach of the Year. I'm not saying he's not done an incredible job and should be right there. But, so since where are we at here? ACC, let's go to the Seminoles. Since January 17th, they were 0-5 in ACC play. And since then, after starting off this 0-5, they are 9-3 in ACC play. They lost to SMU as one of their losses on the road. SMU has also fallen down the stretch here, lost 3 in a row. But in ACC play, they've won 2 games on the road. I think this line's short. I think it's short. I'm going to lock up the Seminoles. And I think Seminoles win this one big. Big as in like 5 or 6. Or what those kids say, 6-7. me Luke Locks and company. Get this one done. Get SMU out of the tournament. Get them out of here. I know this one's not accurate. Stanford is at NC State. NC State is laying now 9? 8.5, 9 points. You can get it at either side, whatever your heart's betting on there. I have a future on NC State to win the national title, and I can probably rip that one up. They have just been god-awful. But there is one thing about this team that's as bad as they've been down the stretch. They've typically been at least decent against the lower teams in the league, especially at home. They beat Virginia Tech by 9, beat Syracuse by 20. They did just lose Notre Dame, but that was on the road. But at home, they've been pretty good against these teams. But I still think it's a little too many. I'm going to take Stanford with the points, but no bet. Cal taking on Wake Forest. Wake is laying 5.5 now. Mark Madsen and the Golden Bears knocking on the door to make the NCAA tournament. Where does Joe Lunardi's dipshit ass have them? The only reason I still do trust... I don't trust Joe Lunardi, but I do check his page out because it is... I hate ESPN. Can't stand ESPN. It's actually terrible. It's a communist network. Can't stand them. Blah, blah, blah. But it is very organized, and it's easy to navigate. So he has them as the next 4 out. So a win here would go a long ways. So we're going to take the 5.5. It's the current number, but no bet on the Gold Bears. I can't figure out Wake, and I cannot figure out Cal basically the entire season, and I'm not starting on the last day of the regular season. Just not happening. E-Chip Pitt is getting 6.5 points on the road at Syracuse. Seems high. Does seem a little bit high, but they're playing for their postseason lives. But also on the road, they've been god-awful. At North Carolina. Lost by 14. At Syracuse, or at, I did win at Cal, though. That was the weird one, which we kind of knew that. I think I called that on the show last Friday. Was like, dude, they're going to somehow find a way to beat fucking Cal on the road and ruin Cal season. Right after Cal had a really big win. Give me Pitt, but you can bet your ass there ain't no chance in hell I'm betting those stinky-ass Panthers. Carolina at Duke. First one delivered. It was an awesome game. Seth Trimble at the buzzer to prevail the Tar Heels. But now, no Caleb Wilson. He's done for the year. The second he was coming back, he breaks his hand. Season-ending injury. It sucks for the Tar Heels. Really, really bad luck. But 17.5? What? 17. That is a lot of points. I'm going to lay it with Duke. I'm still going to lay it. No bet, though. It's just too big of a number for me to do. But, I mean, you got revenge on the mind, too. So, I totally get it. But 17.5, like, dude, Carolina will have some pride. That's a pride game. And you 17.5 in a rivalry game should be basically basically to the system. Oklahoma State is getting 13.5 at home against Houston. As much as I like Houston, man, that is a giant number. You get a 14.5 out there. The only thing I don't like about Oklahoma State is the fact that they are, the fastest, if not the fastest tempo team in the country. They are right there. They're 9th in tempo. I don't like that against this Houston defense because that leads to a lot of turnovers, and that can have Houston break away with this lead. But 13.5, man, as much as I love Kelvin Sampson, I love this Houston Cougars team, I still think they can win a national championship. I'm not freaking out too much about anything they're that's going on there. They've had a lot of struggles as of late. I don't think I can't do it. I'm going to lock up the Cowboys here. You know how much that pains me to fucking say? Not to bet against Houston, because I have bet against Houston, but just it's been rough. It's been a rough stretch here. Arizona State is headed to Iowa State. Iowa State's only 14.5. God, is this Bobby Hurley's last regular season game? Probably. It's in Ames. Arizona State sucks. Give me the Clones. I'll lock this one up too. This Arizona State team in the non-con, which oddly enough, I actually kind of like this team. But since the regular season, or since they got into Big 12 play, it's been an absolute disaster. And the Clones have also been playing kind of bad. This is a good smash spot for them. Get ready for the Big 12 tournament. I think this could be a 20-point game here. So let's go with the Clones here. Mr. Otzelberger. Next up, we got Kansas State at Kansas. 16.5, 17.5 now. It's at Fog Allen. I'm pretty sure Kansas is fucked Kansas State up the last, I can't tell you how many years here. They got beat by 22 in 2023, or 24. In 25, Kansas beat them by 10. Do I want to lay back-to-back big numbers? But Kansas State, man, since... we all know Jerome Tang was a clown and he wasn't a good coach. He got lucky with the one season with Marquise Noel where he didn't even recruit him. But since then, man, it's been disastrous. They fucking beat the Mountaineers, which fucking screwed us season, man. But right there, they had a legit shot to maybe make the NCAA tournament if you don't fuck yourselves there. So... That's just such a big number. I'll lay it, but no bet here. All right, this is probably the game in the Big 12 of the weekend. TCU in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's getting 2.5 points on the road. At TCU, Lenardi at the moment, I think TCU is safe. Some people have them on the bubble. I think they're probably safe. Now, could they float down to have to play in a first-round bye game? That is potentially a thing. Now, for Cincy, they're right there. You win this game, you're probably in the field. And I'm going to ride the momentum that Wes Miller has had with this Cincinnati team. Ever since he apologized to the fan and crashed out and motivated these guys, they've been playing some of the best basketball. This team wanted to Fog Allen and got a win. They can go to TCU and get a win. Give me the Bearcats, money line. Take the 2.5, though. Cover your ass a little bit because this could come down to a one-possession game. Utah is getting 13.5 points on the road at Baylor. These fucking Baylor Bears. There's probably, of all the teams this season, I think Baylor has been my lead, the team I've lost the most money on. Whether I bet on them, bet against them, I can't figure them out. Hey, gee, there's my dog. She's rubbing up against Dad here. Yeah, she's a good girl. Just a season from hell for these guys, and I cannot figure this fucking team out. Utah's been bad on the road, though. They have not. They just played a home game in Colorado, so they did have to do the travel. Give me the Utes, plus 13.5. No bet, though. I hate Baylor. I'm not betting on these games. Texas Tech is getting 2.5 points on the road at Provo. I feel like this should probably be a system play. I don't know. They've been so bad. They've been so terrible since the Richie Saunders injury. Oddly enough, is kind of what I was trying to tell everybody. I was like, yes, DeBonce's crazy. He's insane. He's crazy talented, but Saunders is the best player on that team, and he's the glue that... He's the engine that makes that thing go. And they've just been awful since then. They've lost a ton of games down the stretch. But Texas Tech, obviously, without JT Toppin, can they go into Provo and get a win? They've already went into Arizona and got a win. No.
Joseph Smith was called a prophet, dum 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 dum. He started the Mormon religion, dum 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 dum.
I am your host, Lisa Anna.
Give me the Mormons. Give me BYU. You basically bet you can get the money line at minus 130. We're gonna lock that money line at minus 130. Give me the Mormons. Got to get back on track here before March starts here. It is March, but before the tournament starts. Arizona laying 15.5 points on the road at Colorado. That seems high. It's down a point. It's 14.5. It's actually open at 17.5. The Buffs have got some action. It's not inappropriate, by the way. Wade lost 67. How much weight have you lost, by the way? Judging by your profile picture, doesn't look like much. I definitely look like I'm in better shape. That's just me personally. It's just such a big number. Give me the Buffs. You know what? Fuck it. Give me the Buffs. 15.5. I'll take the Buffs. Colorado's kind of been a little darling of mine. Tad Boyle's still got the boys playing hard. Now, by any means, do I think his team's good? No. I mean, there's a reason they're 7-10 in the Big 12. But 7-10 in the Big 12 isn't terrible. They've won 3 in a row. Now, granted, they weren't, or 3 of the last 4. They weren't great. But at home, they've been chippy. They've blown out. They blew out TCU at home. Beat Arizona State at home, whatever. Oklahoma State beat Kansas State at home. Lost by 6 at home to Kansas. Lost by 9 at home to UCF. Lost by 2 at home to TCU. Fuck yeah. I'm on the Buffs. Plus 15.5. Too many. What's Arizona playing for anyway? Let's go to the Big East. I do kind of have a little bit of double chin. I actually mess up shaving a little bit. Probably why that looks good there. It's the cheap dollar store razors. Do not recommend. Butler is getting 3.5 points at DePaul. Oh, jeez. DePaul, my arch nemesis. Butler, literally in Thad Matta's last game in Hinkle, got fucking blitzed by Creighton. That was such an embarrassing output. I want no business in this one. Give me DePaul. Well, actually, hold on. Let's see what DePaul's. I don't think standings really matter here because the top 4 are pretty much set. DePaul's right fucking there, though. Yeah, DePaul could get a bye. That's insane. Right? If DePaul beats Butler, wow. If DePaul beats Butler, they get a bye in the Big East tournament. Holy crap, Chris Holtman. Ohio State fans glad you got rid of him for Jake Diebler, didn't you? I think he sucks, or Jake Diebler. Chris Holtman's doing a fucking hell of a job at DePaul right now. I think I'm gonna do DePaul too. Is this line moved at all? Let's see. Let's see if this line is moved. Here, DePaul's still 3.5. Dude, fuck yeah. 2.5 on FanDuel. Let's do it. Let's lock it up. Give me DePaul. Playing for a bye in the Big East tournament. Trying to signal my deaf pit bull to come over here. There's. Sometimes I still yell at her. It's hard to get that to go away from just 30 years of yelling at dogs, and then you have a deaf one, and you just like to yell at her. That's a good girl. Next game here in the Big East. God, I kind of actually really like DePaul tomorrow. Or today. I guess it's today. It's going to tip off here soon. Xavier at Villanova. Villanova is laying 11.5. I don't believe any... Yeah, no. They are locked into that 3 seed, so this game's kind of irrelevant. For Xavier, if Xavier would win, it's just going to give them a different spot in the bracket. So no real concern there. Let's take... Give me the points. Give me Mini Patino, but no bet here. UConn is laying 9.5. Is that still the number? They are playing for first place, for a share of the Big East title. Do you think Dan Hurley, who's won 2 national titles in 3 years, really give a shit about a share of the Big 12 or Big East title? Sorry, no. Give me Marquette plus 9.5. Lock it up. Too many. Shock as a dog. UConn wins this by 7. Marquette just played St. John's 2, lost by 6, and those 2 teams are pretty even there. So give me the Golden Eagles. Okay, got my Friars shirt on. Providence at Georgetown and Ed Cooley Bowl. It's a fire game at 8 o'clock tonight. This game's going to be awesome. But hopefully, I pray, Capital One Arena is jumping tonight for Ed Cooley, taking on his former team. Georgetown's lost, what is that now, 6 in a row? After I said the Hoyas turned a corner with that 4-game win streak. No, they haven't. They've lost 6 in a row. And that ends tonight. Give me the Hoyas. I know I'm wearing the Friar shirt. Don't really care. I don't like Kim English away from home. I don't even know if he's coaching tonight. Is he coaching? He was announced he would not be returning at Providence, but I do believe he's going to coach out the season. Yep, he is going to coach the season out. So he is there. Will they play for the coach? I don't really know how much the players really like Kim English. And if you do, I don't know. I've been on this. I've done this rant 100 times, and I guess I'll do it one more time. I need this man. He's already announced he's not coming back, but Providence, please nail this hire. Dear God, please nail this hire. College basketball in a whole, just the entire sport is so much better when Providence is good, and the Dunk is still one of the best home court environments. It is. To me, when I think of college basketball, I think of the Big East. And a big part of the Big East is Providence and the Dunk. And that place should be on fire, and those fans are so loyal. They deserve to have a good product on the court. And Kim English, you had no business getting the job in the first place. You underachieved at George Mason every single year. Tony Skinn takes over with limited coaching experience and propels them to new heights they haven't seen since the Larinaga team took them to the Final Four, which obviously was an immaculate run. You can win at George Mason, and Kim English didn't. He underachieved every single year and somehow failed his way up to that Providence job. I'm glad he's gone. I can't wait to see who they hire. I would like Rick Pitino Jr. It'd be tough for Xavier fans to have him leave after one season, but man, please nail this hire because college basketball is so much better when Providence is good, and the Dunk is lit with a good product on the court. So come on, Friars. But Hoyas winning this one pretty easy. I know this one moved. Let's go to the Big Ten, the shitty Big Ten. That everybody will crown some team from this conference to be good and have a chance to win in March, and they will fall flat on their face like they always do. I did a deep dive, actually, on the Big Ten a little bit. Teams, because people were like, oh, we had a couple teams playing the title game. You should see the amount of just how bad the Big Ten is in March when they don't have the player of the year. When they have the player of the year, they've actually made some runs. Like Michigan goes to the title game with Trey Burke, who's player of the year. Wisconsin loses in the title game with Frank Kaminsky, player of the year. Purdue makes a title game with Zach Edey, the player of the year. But outside of that, I mean, Michigan had that weird fluky run where they went to the title game and they played Nova and got the absolute shit pumped out of them because that team was not a top 12 team in the country. They just had the best path possible and got the depth they rightfully deserve. But I've done this rant a million times. I just continue to do it. I'm not gonna pretend like everybody else does. This happens every fucking year. Every year. Somebody wants to talk about how good the Big Ten is and how they have 4 or 5 teams that can make a run in March. And they don't. They just don't. The second they get out of Big Ten play, they get fucked up because they have no athletes. They play predominantly from the post, and they lack athleticism at the guard position. Braden Smith's the best point guard in the country. He has no athleticism. He's not going to win you a national title with him being your number one guy. Like, it's just, until I see the Big Ten actually perform well in March, I'm not going to fucking believe it. And if this is the year, this year, I'll eat crow. But until then, I'm not believing in these teams. Like, Michigan can win a national title. You have nobody else. Don't give me Illinois. Illinois is out. I don't think Illinois makes a Sweet 16. That's my take. I think they'll lose their second. Let's just see what, as of right now. For one, them being a 2 seed and Purdue being a 2 seed and Nebraska floating with a 2 seed is a joke. Like those teams are terrible. Yeah. Well, that's actually a pretty good draw there for them. I mean, let's see what old Lenardi has for Illinois here. If the season ended today, which it obviously doesn't. They play the winner of TCU and BYU, which isn't going to happen. They're not going to put 2 Big 12 teams in the same region, Lenardi or dipshit. But if they did, I'd be taking the winner of BYU and TCU to knock off Illinois. Very overrated team. As far as this game, though, we'll get to the game. Wisconsin's getting 8.5. It's 8.5 now. Wisconsin has wins on the road over Illinois, the overrated Illinois Fighting Illini. They beat Michigan on the road. And they've already beaten Purdue. Did they beat Michigan State on the road? No, they beat them at home. Wisconsin's probably the team in the Big Ten I actually believe in more than a lot of these teams. Like, as far as like a team that can make a run in March, Wisconsin might be like number 2 for me. Like, not even gonna lie here. But it's in Mackey. It's senior night for Fletcher Lawyer, TKR, and Braden Smith. The 3 that have been together for so long, it's just really hard for me to get there with the lock on Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's the right side, but that senior night element really kind of fucks me up. So I'm going to take the points, but no lock. Got a lock here, though. Easy enough. Get this Darren DeVries shit out of here. Get this motherfucker out of my tournament. Benedict Arnold, Darren DeVries. Tucker got to follow Daddy everywhere he goes. Should have stayed at West Virginia, man. Should have stayed at West Virginia.
God bless Mountaineers, and God bless West Virginia.
Ohio State fucks him up. Indiana is out of the NCAA tournament. I actually do like this spot for Ohio State, too. I think they're pretty comfortably in the dance regardless of a win or loss here. But give me the Buckeyes. Buckeyes by double digits. Get this Hoosier shit in that trading-ass motherfucker Darren DeVries out of my tournament. Next up, UCLA is laying 5.5 on the road at USC. Is this line still accurate? I have a feeling it's not. It's 6.5 now. Obviously, Chaz Baker-Mazara kicked off the team. Despite Gilbert Arenas' because his son is on USC. Despite his Twitter rants about trying to get him back on the team, he's like, "Yo, we're trying to make an NCAA tournament here, man. Like, come on, Muss." It's a rivalry game here. I'm gonna take the point. Yeah, I'll take the points USC. That's a fringe lock. I don't know if I can actually just give it out as a bet here. All right, so this had no line last night, but now it is up. Why is Minnesota only laying 3.5 against Northwestern? I kind of like Minnesota to fuck them up. Dude, that is the smelliest of smelly lines for this weekend. This is the smelliest one I've seen so far. Dude, they're good at the barn. Yeah, fuck, I'm going in. Yeah, I don't care. I'll dive in. I'll dive into Snakes. Give me the Golden Gophers. 3-possession game here. I've been talking for a minute. We got to get moving here. Games are going to tip off here soon. Washington is getting 1.5 points on the road at Oregon. Give me the Ducks. That -112 for the Ducks. And I will also bet this one. Give me the Ducks. I don't trust Sprinkle on the road. Eight left on the SEC here. Not accurate here. Missouri is now laying 2 against Arkansas. No Darius A. Cuff. I believe that it was announced today. Let's see if that is 100% official. He was announced doubtful yesterday. Let's see. Is he officially ruled out? He is out. Missouri is right on the cusp of an NCAA tournament. I think they're right there. Yeah. Yep. Fighting for their NCAA tournament lives. No Darius Haycuff. Give me the Tigers. Lock it up. One of my good friends, Jared Burns, is on the Razorbacks, but I'm going to war here. I'll even give him a little bit of battle music here. I'll go to war with you, buddy. Give me those Tigers. And next we have South Carolina is getting 6.5 at Ole Miss. Jeez, who the fuck is Ole Miss to be laying 6.5 points in the conference game? South Carolina's so bad though. 7.5. Dude, I think I have to take the Gamecocks. Ole Miss is so bad. Yes. Give me those Gamecocks. Go Cox, baby. That is... Who in the hell...
Somebody's going to get that gobbler.
...is Ole Miss to be laying 7.5 points against anybody in the SEC? Let alone a team... These two teams are the same. 7.5? Ole Miss has done nothing to prove they can lay 7.5 points. No. Give me the Gamecocks. Sprinkle the money line. Gamecocks win this game outright. That is an embarrassing line.
This is about shooting blood from your cock.
This is all I hear every time I'm in the car to Connor all day. This is all the fucking music he listens to. That drops for him. Give me the Gamecocks. What's that money line at? I'm betting that. Plus 240. Gamecocks outright. Get it done. All right, Vanderbilt is at Tennessee. Vandy is getting 4.5. Tennessee got them on the road. Came a long way from Vanderbilt being undefeated, haven't we? A long way. This one I'm going back. I went back and forth on a little bit. I'm going to take Tennessee. I'm going to lay with Tennessee, but no lock here. They can come down to the wire. Georgia is laying 5.5 points on the road with Blue Kane and Mike White and company. Dude, I kind of like Mississippi State. Some of the 21-9 teams only laying 5.5 points on the road against the 3-17 team. That's the line? Nope. 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 Give me Chris Jans and company. It's March, baby. I owe Chris Jans a lot of money for that New Mexico State win over UConn. A lot of money on that game. On that money line. That was probably my most profitable bet I've ever made. Outside of the $1,000 wager I made. with Gonzaga and Memphis at halftime. The live bet. I was hammered though. I'm pretty sure what happened was it was the second round game when after Mexico State beat UConn, they played Arkansas, and I was like, fuck it, let's go in again. We lowered the units a little bit. I think we put like $400. I think I put... No. Actually, what happened was it was like $350 on New Mexico State. Accidentally bet it again, or I bet it again with 100, so now we're at 450, but accidentally bet it twice. So because I didn't think my bet went through, and it went through twice. It was $550 on the money line. I think I put 150 on them against Arkansas. It didn't hit, and then at halftime, I was blacked out. I was like, fuck it. $1,100 on Gonzaga. They ended up paying out. One. If they lost, I don't even know what I would have done. That might have been it. That's a lay in the railroad tracks kind of thing for me, especially with the amount of units I bet now. So, but yeah, give me Jan's company. All right, Florida is laying 7.5 points on the road at Kentucky. Nope. Florida's the best team in the country, in my opinion, but this is in rough. Kentucky needs this one. Get them back on track. Come on, Mr. Pope. Too many points. I think Kentucky has the guys to compete with them, and I do think that home crowd will be enough to propel them. I don't know if they win, but I think they do cover the spread. A&M is like 3.5 on the road at LSU. No. Go Tigers. Give me LSU. Money line this shit, dude. A&M, man. They're the most phony-ass fucking team. I'm pretty sure LSU, I don't know if it was confirmed, but they, are cool with McMahon coming back, which is wild. And if they aren't, players get up for him. I do think players play hard for him, so I like the Tigers here. Get this phony-ass A&M team out of here. They're going to be in the tournament, too. I can't believe it. All right, Iron Bowl on the hardwood. Alabama is laying 7.5 now against Auburn. I think we're going to lay it. I think we're going to lock up all these fucking SEC games. Give me the Tide. I think this is the final blow for Mr. Pearl Jr. I can't remember his first name, but this team there's been the Miami, Ohio versus Auburn debate. It's not close, dude. Auburn is god-awful. Get this team out of the tournament. Give me the Tide, baby.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, baby. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
And then lastly, we have Texas laying 7.5 against Oklahoma. Another one I kind of went back and forth on. I'm going to take the points at Oklahoma, but I cannot get there with a lock. I just can't do it. It's a rivalry game. It does mean something. So let's take the points there. Well, thank you everybody for listening. There's a lot of conference tournament games on tonight. We're going to be watching those along with these big ones. March is here. I'll be back with a bunch of previews coming next week. And then basically tournament's going to be here before we know it, man. So enjoy yourself. Everybody, good luck this weekend. I will see you guys next week. I'm out of here. Peace.